that can't be right.
So I'm starting week 5 on a massive downer, to be quite honest. I can't believe that I've somehow put on 1.7 kilograms. I've done really good exercise this week, which just goes to show what diet does, because thinking about it, I have come home from work this week, I've allowed myself to eat like loads of chocolate and cake, so duh, there's the answer. Really not happy. I need to do something about that now, so I'm determined that this week is going to be all about getting the diet right and establishing that. I mean, it could well be that actually the scales were not accurate last week. Maybe I was dehydrated, maybe they were being kind to me. I don't know, but I need to act anyway. So here I am. It's very hot actually. Yesterday was about 28 degrees and it's approaching that today. So I'm out my long run and I'm just really thinking about the heat. So I've got my drink, which I've had in the freezer to keep it nice and cold. I've got my buff and my hat, both of which I've soaked in cold water. Obviously I'm dressed appropriately. Vaseline everywhere, and I mean everywhere. I do have a couple of other videos about hydration and how to manage in hot weather when you're out on your runs. So I'll link to those. Please feel free to have a look. So let's see how we get on with my long run. I kick off week 5. It's really hotting up now. A couple of extra things to mention. Just sipping my drink very regularly. I also took electrolytes this morning, really important on hot days. But other than that, fundamentally, I'm just slowing right down. So I'm making a conscious effort to just go nice and easy to cope with the conditions. Well, we don't let the weather get in the way of our runs. So it's day 2, it's soaking wet. We had a massive thunderstorm last night, really massive cracks of lightning. And there's still that kind of vibe going on today, but it's nice. I love going out in the rain. You know, I'm not sugar, I'm not salt, just not gonna have any problems with that, you know, skin's waterproof and all of that. So it's nice. So it's just an easy run. There's not really a lot to say beyond that. So there we go, hi and bye. Today's music is an album by Ulrich Schnaus, a German electronic guy who was in Tangerine Dream and done loads of production work. Faraway Trains Passing By is the album. It's really good musically. Nice mix of timbres, make it for a good running kind of vibe. The only thing that I would say is it's probably not really for me because it's very repetitive. And I think with the way my brain works, I need a bit more stimulation. So it's really nice sounds, subtle, gradual builds, but these tracks aren't really in sections, so it's kind of the same few seconds of music pretty much on a loop. So it's good sounds, and I think a lot of people would really enjoy it for running music, but maybe not quite for me. I'll stick with it, see how we go.
It's day 3 and I've woken up quite late actually. I've been drinking too much wine recently, including yesterday, which doesn't help. But I was going to have a weights day, but I think actually I'm going to allow myself to have a rest day today. I think that's perfectly reasonable. So it's just the odd day where I'm not really doing exercise in the morning, but it's fine. I'm just going to let my body recover and not put unnecessary pressure on myself.
I actually scratched that because I've got my act together, I've pulled my socks up and I've pulled myself together and I've done my weights. So I'm actually pretty pleased because I really didn't feel like it this morning. Day 4 and it's a very rainy interval speed session. Wet morning on day 5. I think it's day 5 anyway. Yeah, wet morning on day 5. So on the roads, it's been raining a lot recently, so there's no way I'm getting out on the soggy trails. I'll probably end up losing my shoes. But anyway, been thinking about the psychology of running, as I often do. Because yesterday was a tough session. I really noticed this morning, that it's often the day after those difficult sessions, when you go for a relatively easy one, like a recovery style run, that you really feel it. But as is usually the case, that sort of dissipates within the first couple of miles. So I feel fine now. So I'm really glad about that. But yes, it is often the way. I'm a massive music fan, so that really makes a difference. Actually, it just distracts me and makes me kind of forget about what I'm doing and everything. So I'm listening to the live James album from the Acropolis in Greece, and it's just amazing. It's absolutely incredible. I recommend James's music probably above anyone's for running. I just find it incredibly uplifting. It's always sort of been there like a good friend. So yeah, great album, even if it doesn't necessarily have the characteristics of running music. It's just so good.
Well, I just can't believe this. So I went on my run this morning. It turned out to be a really good run. As I got further on, I just got really, really into it and had a really good session. But then outside of my run this morning, I was actually constructing a stage for a performance, and I was carrying around these huge, heavy sections of stage. And something snagged and one of them fell, and it's landed right on my big toe, which I cannot believe. So I feel like it's just squashed my big toe. It's been painful all day. I pulled off my sock and there's all blood in the end of my sock. Nice. And I've just got this painful toe. It looks kind of mangled. My toenail is looking all sort of cracked and stuff. My toe is a funny colour. If I've broken my toe now, it's just like, you could not make this up. It's just like a comedy of errors, really. After having lots of kind of niggles that seem to disappear. If I've got an actual proper injury now, I'm just going to be so seriously angry. So, big toe update on the morning of day 6. I'm sure you're desperate to know what's going on with my big toe. Well, I've woken up this morning and it's still really sore, and I'm kind of beginning to think I may have broken it. People break toes all the time. I'm sure I've broken toes in the past and just kind of carried on. So I'm doing my weight, and so far I've been able to do those. So it's all going to be about tomorrow, whether or not I can actually run on it. So I'm sure that I've broken my big toe. So yeah, it's really, really sore and it's a funny colour and stuff. So I'm just going to go out for a run on it now and sort of test it out, really, and hopefully I can still run on this foot.
Well, here I am out running on my broken toe, and actually, strangely, running on it seems to be easier than walking on it. So far I've been okay, and I haven't really noticed it that much. So obviously I'll monitor it, but quite confident and optimistic about still being able to train. Fingers crossed. So that was good. Last couple of runs actually, this run and the one the other day, I've noticed that I've started off finding it really, really hard with that pattern that we see. Then when I got into it, I just felt really good. So towards the end, I've actually done a bit of speed work, just being careful with that. Toe has just been all right, really. Barely noticed it. It's only now when I start walking that I really feel that actually. So I'm confident that I can run on it. But also, I can't believe this, but I've got a twinge in the back of my right upper leg. I don't know why. And I'm a person who doesn't get injured. So I keep getting all of these twinges and niggles, and I don't really know what's going on. Maybe I'm just getting old.
So 72.6 last week. Gosh.
Somehow the end of week 5, I got mixed feelings really. I'm pleased I'm getting the mileage up and I'm being consistent and I'm sticking to the plan, but at the same time my weight isn't going down, which running isn't actually the best thing for losing weight. but I've been misbehaving. I know I'm drinking booze. I often get home on like a Friday night and I'll just get a bottle of wine and a load of junk, like I somehow deserve it. You feel like you're undoing the good work sometimes. So really mixed feelings about this. So yeah, I'll stick to it. And that's the end of week 5.